Before the COVID-19 pandemic hit the state of Ohio, there was a basketball team in small town Ohio that garnered the imagination of two small communities. This was the Waterloo Boys Basketball team. After Waterloo joined the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference in 2017, the boys basketball team has enjoyed a lot of success, including back-to-back conference championships. Now, I had the opportunity to sit down with some of the team's leaders and discuss their 2019-2020 season and what they expected for the state tournaments that were ahead. From left to right is Kyle Shockley, best known for frustrating opposing head coaches when they learn he is only a junior. Max Alman, the do-everything point forward of the team. Von Dorsey, best known for being a goofball and throwing down emphatic dunks during games. And Caleb Francis, the heart and soul of the team, that he may be quiet, but he definitely makes noise on the court.
Vaughn and Caleb, what was it like to score your 1,000th point in high school?
It felt great. I always wanted to, and I finally reached my goal.
Did you know that you scored it, or did you know during the game that you scored?
Yeah, I knew I was like 16 points away, and then coach told me right before I scored it.
What about you, Caleb?
Well, I had no idea that I scored 1,000 points till after the game, because then I realized that against the game before against Louisville, I think I was like 40-some points, or maybe 30-some points away. But I had a big game against Louisville, and against Marlington I got it, but I could have done it without my teammates. I mean, they gave me the ball. I don't just take the ball myself and score it, but I gotta thank all them. They helped me along the way. It's just a great accomplishment.
How much fun is it to play with this group of guys?
It's awesome. Coming out here, working every day. We get in the gym, feel like we all love each other. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's pretty fun playing with everyone that kind of grew up with and some along the way. But yeah, it's been a fun time.
So what does it mean to win the back-to-back conference championship?
Well, it's a pretty big deal. Hasn't been done since
1991.
1991 hasn't been back-to-back. So we knew coming this year after winning it last year that it wouldn't be easy, but we knew it hadn't been done in a while. So it'd be a pretty big deal if we did it for the first time in a while. So it meant a lot. I don't know if it meant as much as it did last year, but it still meant a lot to win it again 2 years in a row.
Favorite memory of this season?
Probably winning the league.
Winning the league, okay.
And beating Crestwood.
Beating Crestwood.
Beating Crestwood.
They beat us last year.
Yeah, and that was.
I wanted to beat them so bad.
Yeah.
What ways have you grown as a player from last season or even from earlier this season to now?
Well, for me personally, I feel like my confidence got better. And just playing with these group of guys, because I didn't play with Max or Caleb the years before, and then they came last year, and we just built up the chemistry pretty much, and started playing really good.
I feel like we gained a lot of experience from last year to this year. We started out not really knowing each other. Everybody's kind of new. We're all playing together. And then this year, like Vaughn said, we really built up our chemistry together, and I feel like we got a lot better this season.
I think from last year to this year, I think a lot of us stepped up in the leadership aspect, taking guys and more of the accountability, trying to keep each other in check, and just playing together like they said, just moving the ball more, just more chemistry offensively and defensively.
At the end of the interview, I asked the boys if they had any final comments or anything else they wanted to add to the interview. And the comments that Caleb had really stood out to me because it really encapsulates what it's like to be a senior, and with the recent pandemic that we are living through and kind of like how this season ended, it really hit home with me.
Just try to play every game like it's their last. Obviously it is, but
Except for Kyle. He has another.
yeah, but I mean, 6 games, you're state champs. 6 more games, you just win 6 games. 2 games, you get to Canton. 4 games, you get to state. So,
Taking it one game at a time.
1 game at a time, yeah.
The interview was conducted after the boys had defeated East Canton in the sectional final, So they were then on to the district playoffs, where they had to face South Range in the semifinal, they had beaten by 3 points during the regular season, but then would prevail and move on to the district final, where they would face their conference rival Springfield, the team that gave them their first loss of the season and their only conference loss. And they would beat them in dramatic fashion and win only the second district title in school history. A district championship was a good accomplishment for the boys, but they had higher aspirations and wanted to go further in the tournament.
You guys are at 21 wins, which is tied for the school record. How far do you think you guys can get in the tournament? Are we saying like district finals? Are we saying maybe the regionals?
Yeah, Columbus.
And the boys, they were well on their way to Columbus after an impressive regional semifinal win over LeBray. But there was something looming over the game, and that was limited attendance issued by the OHSAA due to concern over the coronavirus. And as the days passed and the concern on if the regional final was going to be played, the OHSAA decided to postpone the winter sports tournaments, and that postponement eventually turned into a cancellation of the winter sports tournaments. So the Waterloo Boys season ended off the court, not by a team on the court that was maybe superior or a team that outplayed them. They were defeated by something off of the court, something that they can't control. So that leaves me with one thing. There is something we can control about the Waterloo Boys basketball team of 2019-2020, and that is the way we remember them and the legacy that they will forever have in school history. They're the only boys basketball team to make it to the regional finals, and only the second team to ever win districts. They have the most wins in school history at 24. So that leaves me with one final thought, and I'm just kind of spitballing here, but is this the best boys basketball team in Waterloo history? Now, one side of the argument would say no. These could be the purists who grew up with playing teams in Portage County, such as Ritztown, Garfield, Mogador, Crestwood, those kinds of teams. And I get that, when I played against these Portage County teams as well, and it was always great times playing them, playing against teams that were just like you from the same area. But then there is the other side of the coin, and that is that, yes, this is the greatest team that Waterloo Boys have ever produced. I mean, if you look just solely off of the statistics and the accomplishments, one could say that. But I think that this team could have won state. They definitely could have made it to state. So, with that in mind, I will say that the 2019-2020 Waterloo Boys basketball team is quite possibly the greatest boys basketball team that Waterloo has produced.